1972's Silent Running is definitely a peculiar film. Science fiction aficionados are aware of it by association as much as anything else. It was one of only two feature films directed by Douglas Trumbull, a legendary visual effects man who worked in 2001, Close Encounters, Blade Runner, and Star Trek the Motion Picture, among other things. Its premise and visuals have themselves influenced Star Wars, Red Dwarf, and more recent pictures like Interstellar, yet that seems to be as much as the average person knows about it. Frankly, it's a movie that has always been hard to describe to people in a way that's interesting. Even now, the video synopses tend to make it sound like a thriller when it's actually a much quieter thing. Universal gave it next to no marketing to begin with, and more recent taglines like Earth's final battle will begin in space don't do it any more favors. The general idea is that Bruce Dern plays Lowell, one of 4 astronauts on a spaceship called the Valley Forge, one of several ships that houses what are apparently the last forests left to humankind. He's the one mainly responsible for taking care of these forests, and literally the only one giving a damn. This is made quite clear when the bosses give orders for all the domes containing these forests to be jettisoned and destroyed, something that everyone else can't wait to just do so they can go back to Earth. But Lowell, well, he and his crewmates have a difference of opinion. 3 fresh graves later, Lowell commandeers the Valley Forge, runs off through the rings of Saturn, and plans on preserving the last forest himself. His only companions being the ship's 3 service drones, Huey, Dewey, and Louie. That pretty much covers it. Silent Running is very much an environmental message film, and unfortunately one very firmly at home in the early 1970s. Between the random Joan Baez songs and Lowell coming off as a manic tree hugger stereotype, the plot is as dated as the visuals are innovative. It doesn't help matters that Lowell often comes off as not only obsessed with the forest, but having no ability to plan ahead. Almost every obstacle in the story is a direct result of him being stupidly impulsive, and more than once I found myself pretending to ask him, okay, now what? I get that Lowell is placed as the last sane man, but the movie doesn't do a very good job of explaining any of what is going on. Apparently forests don't exist on Earth anymore, and yet somehow all the planet is at a comfortable temperature, and poverty and unemployment are a thing of the past. Even the order given to destroy the biodomes explicitly says that no explanation is given for what seems like a suicidal move, nor is anything said to explain why everyone else is excited to do it besides just being bored out of their minds. Even Lowell himself isn't immune to this. All we know about him is that he has no family to come home to, which is very open to interpretation. Bruce Dern does his best with the work, but it's just impossible to tell if Lowell acts the way he does because he has nothing left to live for, or if he is so naive about his mission that it has driven everyone away. The best thing I can say about Silent Running is that, at the very least, it looks fantastic. As I said before, Douglas Trumbull's visual effects background effectively invented the look of modern sci-fi movies, and his team on this movie did a great job of making the Valley Forge look and feel like a realistic spaceship despite the budget of only $1 million. A huge part of this was cleverly using the aircraft carrier USS Valley Forge for many of the interiors, hence why the ship was named it. It's a shame that Trumbull didn't get to direct much after this. It would have been nice to see what he could have done with a more focused script. My recommendation is to go into Silent Running more like an art film than a science fiction movie. It has interesting things to say, even if you have to be patient with it from time to time.